Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to talk about the time when I got fired. Or did I get fired? Let's go back to my high school years. So the last 2 years of high school I did a CNA program, and by the time I graduated I received a certificate. I was quite familiar with the job. I knew the educational part and also the practical part. Was very good at it. So after high school I went to college, and the license, it expired. I had to get a new license. So I did it was 3 months at the time at Allen School, CNA, Nursing Assistant Program. And I did it and I passed it. So that's the practical part and the educational part. So my last year of college, I worked as a nursing assistant, went to this agency and they found me a job. So first I used to do it on weekends, and then when I graduated I did it like full-time. Whenever they had jobs I would go in. So most of the times it was 7 to 3, and sometimes I'll do a double. That's is it 7 to 3 then 3 to 11? That's the double, and I enjoy it. Going to the nursing homes now, you're like a floater. You'll go in and then they'll put you on any floor that they choose, which wasn't a problem with me. And they'll give you, most of the time they will give you patients that they didn't want to work with. For me, they gave me like the difficult patients. So I had like patients that wanted to fight. They were just difficult. And for me, I would work with any patient. For me, I work with anyone. I am able to work with anyone, and that's true in anything that I do. The workers, they would tell me, oh, this patient is this patient is that, but I would go in with an open mind and work through it. I worked at 2 nursing homes with this agency. So one of the nursing homes was in Queens. I was 21 at the time, so I would have to travel so far. I used to take the 4 to the 7 going to Queens. I don't even know the direction right now, but 4 to the 7. So if I had to go to work for 7 o'clock, mind you, I'd probably have to get up like 5:30, get on a train and travel a real far distance just to get to work. That's the Queens location. And then they transferred me to the Brooklyn location, which was in Williamsburg, I was so excited, guys. I was really excited. But working there, after a month, I think something terrible happened. Something so terrible. So I went in, I got the report from the nurse, and this patient was she was a pretty good patient, but she was hard to lift. She was hard to move. So in that form, I would say maybe that's the reason why they gave her to me. And plus, she had several problems. She had like paper thin skin, so you had to be very, very careful with her. So anyway, I went in, introduced myself. She didn't say much. She was a very old lady, like in her 80s, if I can recall. I think they gave me several patients. So I took care of her first. I took care of that patient first. And then I had to find someone to help me to transfer her from the bed to the chair. And you have to transfer her with the hoyt lift. And with that hoyt lift, you need 2 people to do the transfer. So when I finished cleaning her up, I took my time because remember, she had a fragile, skin. Skin was very thin and it can tear. So they had gave me another patient. I went, I took care of that patient, cleaned her up, got them ready, and then this one patient I kept waiting, kept asking everybody, and they're like, oh, I'm busy, I'm doing this. One lady, I went, I helped her, got her patient out of bed, and then when I was done, she was like, oh, I'm busy, when I'm finished I'll help you, but she never came. So now after a while, I had asked this one lady, and she was like, oh sure, I'm just gonna get this patient dressed and then I'll come to you, which she did. And that was very nice of her. It was like, oh, thank you, God. You know, she was really nice. So she said, go and hook up the patient to the hoyt lift. She said, go and hook up the patient, and when I'll come and help you lift her. Which I did. I hooked her up and everything, put her in the hoyt lift. I had all the hooks, had everything hooked up, ready for her to transport her into the chair. So when she came in, I didn't have a chuck, which is a pad on the hoyt lift to like soak up moisture. So she was like, oh, you know, we have to take her down, blah blah blah. And so we did. I was taking off the chains of the hoyt lift, so we took off her side, and she was like, oh no, leave your side. So I left my side of the hooks on the bed, and she pulled the hoyt lift pad. She pulled it on her side, so the hooks were on the bed, and it hooked into the lady's arm and tore her arm like open. There was no blood or anything like that. It was just like chicken flesh exposed. And the lady at the time, she was like, oh, you know, at first we didn't know why she was making that noise, but then I realized that, man, that the hook got hooked onto her arm. And then the other nursing assistant, she was like, oh, in here, Chloe. She was like, oh, look what you did. You ruined my whole career. And I felt so bad. And she was like, you told me to say something. Told me to say some kind of lie. I don't remember the lie that we were supposed to go into the meeting and say. But anyway, the next day, we had a meeting. We had everyone who is in care, who takes care of the patient, like the doctor. We had the nutritionist, the social worker, everyone. Like, it was a bunch of people around the table, and I walked in, and man, they were like asking us what happened, and the lady was like, she was just putting everything on me. And I think she told me to say I was 21. She was an older woman. She had told me to like take all the blame or something like that, because this is a career and blah blah blah. But anyway, she was putting all the blame on me in the meeting, like, oh, I did this and did that. But I was like, you know what, I just came out and I said, the hook was left on the hoyt lift while we were when we were trying to change her, and there was it. That was it. And then we came out the meeting, me and the lady and myself, and she was like, look what you did. I went home. I don't remember exactly, but I went home and they never called me back. The agency never called me back. And I think I probably called back to see how the lady was doing. And they said, you know, they're taking care of it, blah, blah, blah. I thought they was going to call a lawyer and look further into the situation. But it was, I think the end result that it was negligence on, you know, our part. Both of us were involved. So it was negligence and nothing really became of it. The agency never called me, and trust me, they used to call me all the time. Like they had 7 to 3 shifts. I never refused any cases. I always used to be there for them. At any place that they sent me to, any one of those places that they sent me to, I would always go. And that was the end of my CNA career. I was very scared. That summer, like for a few months, I spent at home just feeling remorseful for what happened to the lady. And also, you know, like thinking of how I could have prevented such an incident. You know, should have gone with my first instinct, removing all the chains before we turned her. But that didn't happen, and anyway, if you enjoyed this story and you can relate to this, let me know. If you ever got fired, tell me about it in the comment section. So thank you for watching, and those who all who keep coming back, I greatly appreciate your support.